So you see these four on here. I'm doing an update. This is issues 23, 24, 25, and 26. Apparently my SD card that I used was no good, and I did a whole bunch of stuff and ended up I lost it all. Apparently because the card was no good, and it was a brand new card too. So it must be a crappy brand, so I'm not buying any more of those. But anyways, these four I did, and it's all done on the wing. And I will have had gone through all these magazines and did all the things, but so I'll put all the magazines together and let you see those, and then I'll show you the results of the what was done, and that's basically what I'm gonna do. This is kind of a quick update of why you don't see any video except for what's at the end of the video, talking about the wing put together. So we will let you get on with the video. Oh, welcome to Forest Hobbies. We're working on volume 23 of the Hachette VF-1 Valkyrie. Here's the magazine. I will be putting the strong back in, and we won't need those parts there right away. And we will be putting in the two things that hold the little pods underneath the wings. And here is all the instructions here, and that's what we're going to be doing at the end of this. You should have. Here we are talking about Maximilian and his Valkyrie, and he is the blue one here. He has the blue background on his there, so that's how you distinguish the characters in the movie, basically. And it's just talking about him dogfighting with the fighter, and then going to the gear walk for more up close personal, and then getting into a tight corner where they can't fly these ships through, and being in the battleoid mode, basically. We go on to this here, and this here they're talking about what kind of things like missiles and explosives they could have in here, and basically they're talking about the non-guided, the guided missiles down here, some more of a type of explosive style here, basically, and then on this side here they're talking about just a drop in explosive missile, and then air-to-air combat missiles, basically, on that for different vehicles. And then we'll go on to the movie again, where Rick Hunter is taking care of Lisa Hayes after she got sick. He's thinking about Lynn Min-May and, you know, the different things between him and Lisa and stuff. And they come across this the ship here that they find, and they get a hold of the Robotech masters, basically, and they find out that the Zentradi and them are basically one and the same, and they Robotech masters miniaturized them, and this is why I think this was a sister ship, I think, to the Macross ship that they had. But that's all there is into that book. Looks like we're going to be working on the ailerons next time, like we did, and so let's look at the parts, shall we? Hi, welcome back to DeForest Hobbies. We'll be working on volume 24 of the VF-1 Valkyrie. Here's the magazine. It's going to be a real quick stage. We'll probably stage this up with the next one because it's just like the ones that we had before. And here is the magazine. Not too much to do. We just put a pin in, and then we'd be done. And this is talking about the VT1 Valkyrie. It's a two-seater actually versus a single-seater. That's more like a thing where Rick Hunter, and I apologize if anybody thinks that the Japanese versions of these names are what they have on here, but I know them as Rick Hunter, Lisa Hayes, and Lynn Min May, which I think are pretty close to exactly somewhat the same. But anyways, this was when Rick Hunter was taking Lynn Min May out for a tour around, and they ended up going on some planet and whatever. This is showing some of the other pieces that are put onto the thing, and in the gear walk thing, and it also shows kind of how the cockpit layout is, and how the people would be, where this would be the first guy and they're more standing up type of thing, where these two, they're one above the other in the cockpits. This is the VF-1 and the VT-1 here basically. So that's just like that. So that's one of the things they had. And here they're talking about the radar in front of the F-14, how it works, how the system is on the radar, how it shows inside in the cockpit, what they're reading out, and these guys are working on this with the radar, and basically this is what it's saying, is that it's how it distinguishes the things with their RF antennas and stuff, to tell that, well, I'm a good guy, you're a bad guy. I'm a good guy, you're a bad guy. So that's how it's distinguishing all that, to tell if they know if they're an ally or an enemy on that part. But here we are looking at some storyboards, basically of the thing when Lynn Min May and that was going down and the ship was transforming, and Rick Hunter was saving her as the ship was transforming around him and grabbing him. But these are the storyboards to the actual video going on. But let's see what we got. So we're going to be getting the motor in the next issue for this, and but let's look at the parts. Hello and welcome to DeForest Hobbies. We're working on stage 25 of the VF-1 Valkyrie, and this is the page here, and we're going to work on the motor. Stage 18, I forgot to do I guess I did the magazine, but I forgot to do the showing how this went in. I was going to show how to do it on this one, but it's pretty much the same thing, you know. It's basically you're putting all this stuff on here and little things, and we're going to install that in there, and we will have this with the ailerons in place. Here we're talking about the VF-1A and the VE-1 with different armaments on this, and then we've got, again, talking about the Gerwalk, different ones, and the scout ship here with its thing, looking at things going on. And in this one here, we're talking more or less about the again, about radar and things such as the real combat science, you know, basically what kind of information that they have, you know, communications and stuff, different things about the fighters, you know, and the airborne warning control systems and things that they have, and then of course our the radars that they have, that they're looking for different types of enemies or such in that fact. And then we move on here to, again, Lisa and Rick finding out about stuff and about the Robotech Masters and what they had, where the Macross ship had come from, the SDF-1, and the city here, basically, and what they found out from the people when the Zirconians were micronized and stuff by the Robotech Masters. And so then brings us to the last one here, where we're going to be taking and sealing up the other end, the right, I think I want to say it's the right or left. No, this is the left one. This is the left wing. We did the right wing already. But anyhow, let's get to the parts. Hi, welcome to DeForest Hobbies. And this is volume 26 of the VF-1 Valkyrie. Okay, talking kind of weird there. So here's the magazine. We're going to add on to the top of the wing, and we're going to close it all up and stuff. Here's the instructions showing us the different things and where we're going to put these little pieces on that we've got in some of the other previous deals, and that's what we'll have when we're at that. So here we're talking about the VF-1J, which means it was produced in Japan. This is the one that Rick Hunter or Roy Fokker drove because it's got the red wings and stuff. Basically, that's the one that Rick Hunter had, was his color. It's kind of talking about, you know, what kind of propulsion system it has in it and everything. Shows the wingspan type of things and all the kind of the size of things of this, which again is based off the F-14 plane. That's actual plane that we have here in the world. And they're talking about here on this, in this basically about Japan wanting to have radar and stuff and being able to see where their enemies are at and have things. So basically that's where it started. They wanted to do the radar and things, so this was their radar towers in 1945, so they can communicate with things and figure out some of that stuff. So basically like when they were bombing Pearl Harbor and things, and that's what it just carries on, and they're talking about more about the how they developed all this over the years from the different eras. And that's pretty much it on this one here. Looks like we're going to be, we're going to get a testing board and some other stuff, and it looks like we're going to be adding the wings to the rest of the parts that we're at. But well, let's get on with the parts. Well, it happened again. I was going to film all this other stuff and ended up my camera decided for some reason the little SD card decided that there was no image, so I had videotaped quite a few things and ended up having to go, oh crap. So we have got stage volume 23, 24, 25, and 26, and well, basically all together. So we have got a completed wing. Basically we had the lights in here, and what we were going to do, we put the strong back in here on 23 and got that put down. It was a metal piece. If you go back in some of the other videos for the other wing, it's basically the same thing. And then we put these two little things right here in. And then when we went to the other part, oh that's right, we also put that part in for stage 23. And then stage 24, we ended up putting on the, building this little thing here, this little aileron. I think that's the one that we had here, basically. I think that's what it is. I'm looking here again. Yes, we were building the aileron, which that would have been stage 17 on the other build, and I would have that. Probably have the same problem with this here, was a little bit tight. And then of course stage 18, which I had videotaped, or forgot to videotape. I was going to take and videotape this one and make it with two pieces, and well, guess what? I didn't even get it. So you'll never see the motor put in, but I did show you in the magazines basically what was done. And then stage 26 was sandwiching these pieces on top of this and adding in the two lights and basically putting on our little things where we put the screws in. But that is all there is to do in stage 23, 24, 25, and 26. So it's pretty much the same thing as what was in the previous wing. So I guess I kind of sped the build up. So this one is going to be bundled up with 4 stages. Hopefully going forward I can pay attention in that and not do that again. So I may end up doing something else, but we will talk to you later in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, if you made it to the end of this video, congratulations. Just remember, like and subscribe for all my great substance. There you go. Catch you on the flip side.